The 2021 NBA Draft Lottery was on Tuesday night, and we found out the Pistons got the number 1 pick, the Rockets slid to number 2, the Cavs moved to number 3, and the Raptors moved up to number 4. Today in The Void, let's conduct a mock draft for those top 4 picks, and then break down some potential trades and the most interesting teams in the lottery. What a gift for the Pistons landing the number 1 pick. They're going to take Cade Cunningham. This is easy for them. When you think about what Detroit is building out, the versatility that Cade Cunningham can provide across the roster with the number of young players that already were having success with the Pistons as rookies. Killian Hayes, their lottery pick last year, had some ups and downs. He had the injury. He was really good on defense, really good as a playmaker. The scoring needs to improve. Cade Cunningham gives a guy who can be the primary playmaker, the primary guy running the offense, alleviating some pressure off of Killian Hayes. And those guys can play with each other because if Hayes is handling the ball, Cunningham can be coming off of screens and pin downs. You can use him as a spot up shooter. And that's exciting. That's what the best players do, right? So with Cunningham, his passing ability gives Isaiah Stewart another guy that can give him the ball with his rim running, his aggressive play. And then Saddiq Bey. We saw him as a rookie, one of the NBA's best 3-and-D wings, very versatile. And then you throw in Jeremy Grant, the veteran who was so good on offense last season. And then on the defensive end of the floor, also brings it. I feel like the Pistons could be pretty good pretty soon. Look, here, Evan Mobley is the favorite in terms of people's big boards. Most people have Cade Cunningham number 1, and then Evan Mobley, a USC center, number 2. However, I question the fit with Mobley and Christian Wood. Evan Mobley can play with absolutely anybody at all because he has the skills on offense to play in the perimeter. He can shoot a bit. He can pass and facilitate. He can rim run and play inside. And on defense, he has the versatility to switch onto the perimeter, defensive guards and wings. The problem is with Christian Wood, you'd have 2 lean guys unable to take on the Joel Embiids, the Nikola Jokic's of the world. That's why if you're the Rockets here, you have to be looking at the 2 Jalens, Jalen Green out of the G League and Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga. Suggs would add some playmaking just like James Harden did, and that's important for Christian Wood. Wood was at his best when he had Harden running pick and roll, throwing him lobs, kickouts for pick and pop 3-pointers, and Suggs could provide that too. However, for a team like Houston that isn't thinking about winning games right now, they're still young, they're still in a rebuilding phase, I'm picking Jalen Green here because he's the younger guy who can provide more upside with his scoring ability. Jalen Green at 6'5", freakish athlete, very Zach LaVine-esque, but he also has the ability to create his shots on the perimeter. Over the course of the season with Green in the G League, we saw his decision-making improve. He got better at passing off the dribble. He got better at not forcing shots. And for the Rockets, that could boost Wood's value and give them the perimeter shot creator who can score that they lack after trading James Harden. So Mobley's no guarantee to go number 2, which means in this mock draft, we're having him slide to number 3. And if Mobley's here, that would make it the easy choice to stay here for Cleveland at number 3, because you look at their roster, they have Darius Garland and Colin Sexton, 2 guards who are very young, who have shown upside. And then you have Jalen Suggs, who we mentioned earlier, and Jalen Green. Both of those guys will create some positional fit issues. So for Cleveland, Mobley could slide right in, be a big man for this team, screener, pick and pops, defensive versatility. The fit would be natural, and I would love to see how Mobley could elevate the play of Sexton and Garland in that backcourt. However, there's no guarantee that Mobley is on the board. Mobley could very well go number 2, whether it's to Houston or if somebody else were to trade into that spot. And that's one of the things that's really on my mind after we saw this lottery order shake out, because Houston and Cleveland are potential spots for trades. Think about the rest of the lottery. Orlando is picking 5th and 8th. Oklahoma City has the 6th, 16th, and 18th picks. And you know what both of those teams could use? Either a go-to scorer like Jalen Green or another shot creator like Jalen Suggs or Evan Mobley for that matter, if he were available. You look at the Pelicans. What if they wanted to move on from Brandon Ingram? We have the Sixers, the Ben Simmons situation looming over the league right now. What is Philadelphia going to do? There's options here for Cleveland to either explore a trade moving off from Colin Sexton or Darius Garland, or just moving the pick itself and trading for a player or for more draft picks. And that's what I'm really thinking about here with Cleveland. They are at a spot at 3 where they can do a lot of things. And I'm excited to see what Kobe Altman and that Cavaliers front office does. But for now, in this mock draft, we're having them go with Evan Mobley with the 3rd pick. Let me know in the comments if you think teams should be open to trading down or who should trade up, because I think there's a lot of them, to be honest with you. Moving to number 4, we have the Toronto Raptors. They're in a great spot here at number 4. They need really anything at this point. If Mobley were to fall or Green or Suggs were there, any of them would make sense. You could also see them reaching on a couple of guys like a Jonathan Kuminga, who most people, including myself, have ranked 5th on their draft boards. But here for this mock draft, we're having the Raptors take Jalen Suggs. And for Raptors fans, for many years, you watch Kyle Lowry. What is there that you love about Kyle Lowry? You love the clutch play. You love the leadership. You love the shot making. You love the defensive intensity, taking charges. There's so much to love about Kyle Lowry. Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga has so many of those qualities. Obviously, coming in as a rookie, he's not going to be a team leader, but he can build to become that over the course of time. And the style of play on the court, he's just one of those guys that makes winning plays on offense, winning plays on defense, can play with or without the ball, very good spot-up shooter, can run pick and roll for you, hard-nosed defensive player. For Toronto here, there's a great young core. You have Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, who keeps getting better and better and better. Pascal Siakam. Add in Malachi Flynn with that backcourt. They have a lot of guys, a lot of young players who can play and compete right away. It's not going to surprise anybody if the Raptors come back this season, going back home to Toronto, and they start winning a lot of games this season again. Throughout the rest of the lottery, here are a couple of other teams to be thinking about and prospects to watch for. Golden State at number 7. What are they going to do here? You get Stephen Curry coming off an MVP caliber season, Klay Thompson returning, Draymond Green, who rightfully received some Defensive Player of the Year votes. The Warriors are a team ready to compete, ready to try to contend for championships again. So at 7, do they flip that pick for a proven player or keep it? If they keep it, I'm looking hard at Davion Mitchell, a 6-foot guard who brings intense defense, versatility. Even though he's 6 foot, he can play bigger than his actual size. And then on the offensive end, this past season, he really began to pop offensively, improved his handle and his shooting off the dribble quite a lot. I view Mitchell as a player who fits what the Warriors need, but can also be a guy who increases his role over the coming years as Curry and Klay continue to get older, and maybe he can serve as a bridge from a past era to the new one. And then in the middle of the lottery where we have the Kings, the Pelicans, the Hornets, and the Spurs, that's where things get really murky. Things get interesting here because the draft flattens out. Even the Pacers at 13 or the Warriors again at 14 could get a prospect close to what these mid-lottery teams are looking at here because it's a matter of taste. It's a matter of need. I think about somebody like Scottie Barnes, Florida State freshman, 18 years old. He doesn't have a jump shot, but he has pretty much everything else you'd be looking for in the NBA today. He's selfless, a great playmaker, versatile on defense. He hustles, he can rebound. If he adds a jumper, there's a lot of star potential. And Barnes is one of those guys that could easily hop into a top 5, top 6 situation. So if he's there for the Kings or Pelicans, one of these teams, there's a lot of appeal. And one other name to watch here, and I really like this guy for the Spurs at number 12, and that's Alperen Sengun, 18-year-old player who won Turkish MVP at 18 years old. Has a heck of a lot of skill on the offensive end of the floor, especially on the low post. He's got great post moves. There's no question about his ability to read the floor, make counter moves, passing out of the post. He's flashed the ability to shoot from the outside as well, hit a crazy step back jumper this season. Only 6'9", 6'10", but he has defensive ability. I'm impressed with the toughness he plays with on that end of the floor. And I view him as more of a project, but he's one of those guys that could easily pop and exceed expectations based on his draft spot. You get a lot of shooters here as well. Chris Duarte, 24-year-old wing. For any team looking for a guy who can plug and play right now, you got guys like that. Josh Giddey, a younger playmaker. Corey Kispert, another shooter. A lot of talent in the late lottery, though all of them aren't necessarily star potential. There's a lot to like. And if you want to learn more about these prospects, go head over to The Ringer at the NBAdraft.theringer.com. That's where you can find my top 30 scouting reports, my full mock draft, and all of that at NBAdraft.theringer.com. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and thank you to our team for putting it together. Please do us a favor, like this video, and share it with your friends who you think might like it. Thank you again. I hope you have a fun day.